Good morning, interweb. Granny here. Welcome aboard the Richard With. Sailing, just coming into Alesund. Apologies to Martin Dean and every other Norwegian person on the planet for my really bad pronunciation all the way through these videos. I've almost got a handle on the name of the shipping line. Hurtigruten. I think that's it. I'm still practicing. But this is where we are right now. Starting out, this is day 2 of a 12-day, I suppose I call it a voyage, north to look at fjords and icebergs and polar bears and northern lights, hopefully. So this is where I've been headed all the travel up until now. So Melbourne to Singapore, Singapore to Helsinki, Helsinki to Oslo, train from Oslo to Bergen. Bergen's where we got on here. So I'm aboard the Richard With, which is with the Hurtigruten company. We're heading north. We're going to go over the Arctic Circle, and I've got some excursions planned along the way. Hopefully we see the Northern Lights. That's what the whole trip's about. I had another crazy idea, about 3 years ago, just before COVID hit, and wanted to see the Northern Lights. So I booked the trip. COVID hit. I had to keep putting it off. Can you see in the background? Mountains and snow. Until this year. And, COVID restrictions have lifted, and just before the Chinese plunge us all back down into lockdowns, I thought, we'd better do this. So basically, I'm on this ship with about 590 other people. The origin of this trip is, when I was younger, and many of you would be in the same boat, I heard about that you could go on these Norwegian like mail ships or icebreakers up the coast of Norway, and that they took a very small number of passengers, like 10, 12 people, but that was many years ago. People keep wandering through where I am and looking at me like, what the hell is she doing? I could throw the Allen line in here and go bloody women every time they laugh, but I won't let him ruin my holiday. Where was I? Yep, so we might have all, when we were younger, heard these stories of these trips that you could take up the Norwegian coast. So this company, I gather, have got the contract to do this ferry service up and down the Norwegian coast, and I think they just kept expanding the number of passengers they took and started specialising the ships. So what I'm on now is a kind of, I call it a hybrid, or a combination of ferry, because it stops at all the stops and it carries mail and it carries people, local people from port to port, and a cruise ship. So they've expanded to 590 passengers. So it's a really good cruise ship for nerds, because I won't tell you everything at once, but basically instead of bingo and showgirls in theatres, you have a lecture hall, and you can go in there and hear lectures about where we are and the wildlife and the landscape, etc. So that's where I am. Day 2 of the 12-day voyage. I made a community post with the webcam. You'll only be able to see from the ship's webcam during daylight hours. We're getting about 6 hours of daylight a day at the moment. Does that make sense? 6 hours of daylight a day. Yeah. We're coming into Alesund right now. It's 9:30 in the morning. The sun is just rising. You can see behind me. When I finish talking, I'll give you another look out the window. All right. So, today we've got a full day, which is unusual. We've got a full day in port. We're going to be at a place called Alesund. I'm probably not saying that right, apologies. But I'm going to do the hop on, hop off bus do a whole circuit of the place and then go back and pick off, you know, 3 or 4 things of interest. I might make some videos. If it's fascinating, I might not. I don't know. So I'll show you out the window again, and then I will disappear because it's nearly time to go ashore. All right? Look at me using pirate language. Okay. I'll sign out, and then I'll give you a little look out the window. Okay? All right. Be kind to each other. Be kind to the planet, like this company is. We'll talk about that in another video. And stay grumpy.
Willst du mit raus?
Meine sind nur halb so lang.
Willst du mit raus?
Ja, ich komme mal mit hoch, mal sehen, aber